Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new here, and I hope you had a great week. Today we're in the world of Gibbi Point building an ultra modern home called Montclair House. We are using the new modern retreat and gardener table and a bunch of other packs and kits. I only used 15 in total for this particular build, but right now we're putting together the floor plan, and I chose this waterfront lot in Gibbi Point because I wanted the build to be waterfront. And just this particular lot has really nice views, and I wanted to kind of build here for a while and just have kind of like a normal ultra modern home. So I think the exterior took shape pretty quickly. I was trying to make this interesting entrance focal point with the roof there, but we do end up changing that out because I needed to add the staircase to the second floor, which yeah, so we do change that up a little bit. But the suspended bit over the back here, that is part of the primary bedroom. There is no balconies or anything off the back, except obviously on the lower level, which you'll be able to do waterfront activities, and your Sims can either swim in the water or they can go kayaking. So that's pretty neat. I did include 2 kayak boats. As far as the exterior colors, I kind of went for this slatted wood, which I think is from Business and Hobbies. And then there's this other wood tone that you might see, the darker one. That was one of those like login reward event item wallpapers, though I do tone the color down to be a bit lighter, just because I felt like it was a bit too dark. I did put the front door in, but yeah, that whole like roof structure thing does change. Also, these windows change as well because I put these in from Adventure Awaits, but then yeah, I don't like it. But what I end up choosing, which you may have seen in the little intro, are these base game square windows, and I think they were perfect because even though I had to place like a bunch of them over the wall, it actually makes a really beautiful look. So yeah, I did make a funny like face on the front of the house, like with 2 eyes and like a mouth. But yeah, I that was on purpose. I just kind of wanted it to have a face, and on the back as well. The windows are just very normally placed, I guess. There is 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms total in this house, though 1 bedroom is actually a nursery. So really it's like 3 functional bedrooms and then 1's a nursery. But again, you could convert the nursery into something else if you didn't need a nursery, like another bedroom. And then there's also an office space as well, which if you didn't need the office space, you could also convert that to a bedroom. So it's a fairly large house, I have to say. I was actually thinking about making it larger by putting like a garage and then like a like little like home gym or kind of like a little fitness center off the back of the garage, kind of like an all glass kind of thing. But I wasn't able to do that because the lot actually required the house to be built on a foundation, which was kind of annoying because then you obviously wouldn't, have the garage functioning, at least, or well, not functioning, but more or less like looking like an actual garage, being level with the ground. So it's like, well, that kind of ruins the realism there. So, we're just going to not do that. So I didn't include a gym in this particular build, but I will do that in my next build. I think it would be nice to include a home gym because I would like to use the stationary bike and like the weight rack and stuff that did come with Adventure Awaits a bit more. So yeah, just figuring out the second story stairwell here. I did end up extending this out and just making the roof kind of like this flat angle, but still keeping glass because it brings in lots of natural light. And then I stack some windows here. They're just base game windows, which fit the style of the house quite well. We're now using the new light that came with Modern Retreat. It's like this square light that actually like sticks through. And when we get to the screenshots, you'll kind of see it on the ceiling. It's this nice little square. We're doing the kitchen, which I believe is Home Chef Hustle. I went for a darker color tone in here. I guess the whole house is kind of like a mix of light woods, but also kind of dark woods and dark colors. So yeah, but the kitchen is primarily Home Chef Hustle, except for the range top and then the oven, which is Dream Home Decorator. I had to think about that one for a second. The window behind the sink there also changes. I kind of carried over the styling of the square windows from the dining room space, which I thought just works so well. And I did carry that in other elements of the house, I think, maybe. Maybe, yeah. I think in where the nursery is, I also brought the same kind of style of windows there. We're using this new table, which I know it's like I guess it doesn't really need to be an outdoor table, but it does come with the garden to table kit. And then I'm using this side table, which is from the Modern Retreat kit. So yeah, a lot of different objects. I did build this like custom entertainment center unit thing with the Modern Retreat kind of bookshelves and the little console table here. And then we put a TV on the wall, and then the game console below the TV is actually from Ventura Weights. And then the love seat and the sofa, and then the two chairs I put, as well as the chair in the corner here, that is from Modern Retreat as well. So if you like those items, yeah, that's where they're from. But I went for a darker color sofa and love seat and everything in here because I was just keeping with the dark color theme and then the dark woods and everything. So yeah, if you do like this build, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here is the gallery listing, just in case you're interested. My EA ID is TheSimified, so you can just type that in and find it, or you can search by the house. But all my creations are there, including this one. I built it on the 50 by 50 lot in Gibbi Point. I'm not sure what's here originally. I know there's a house here originally. It's kind of like in the upper right corner of the map is kind of where I built it. So yeah. I, for some reason, furnished first and then did the wallpapers down on the first floor, and I don't know why, but it's okay. We ended up doing this like gray plaster with this like lower portion there, which I actually really liked. I think it makes the style of house come together. And then I did a wood accent wall along the back there. I was thinking about tucking this bar in here, but then the overhang was just too much, and I was like, you know what, we don't need a bar. What I will do is put as part of the Modern Retreat kit, there was like a like it's kind of like a mini bar. I don't know if it functions as a mini bar. I've actually haven't tested it, but it does have like bottles and stuff. So it basically looks like a bar, which I did put in the dining room space. So that works out, kind of serves that purpose. Even if it's not functional, it's just a decorative thing. And now I'm doing clutter in the kitchen, or at least some, but I do come back and finish this properly with proper clutter once I get the window situation fixed. And I do add some windows off to the right of the refrigerator because I felt like that corner was so dark, and that's where I started doing this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these windows are just, they're just so cool to just stack like this. So I made two giant walls on the sides for the dining room here, and then the front actually becomes the same thing, just a giant wall. And the dining space portion of the ceiling is actually open above. And then there's a bedroom over top of like half of that as well, which is the nursery. But yeah, so this whole wall will become windows, which is just absolutely beautiful. It's a nice little feature of the front of the house, makes the front of the house kind of interesting looking, I think. And now we're moving upstairs. Unfortunately, the windows, since they're stacked and I took them all the way up to the top, there is like a little bit of like show through on the second floor level. So I tried to hide that as much as possible, like this bump out in the primary bedroom there where I put the bed. That's kind of hiding some of that black like flickering from the windows below. And then the same thing here. I tried to hide it as much as possible in what will become the nursery there. And then also in the hallway bath here on the far end, there's like that weird L-shaped bit that's kind of like floating in the middle of the room. You'll see it once I turn the lights back on, and of course when we furnish it. But yeah, that's also hiding some of the flickering from the windows, but I think it works out quite well and does quite well in hiding most of it. Like for example, that big black like square sticking through the floor there, I covered that with the sink because that's just part of the window below, but you don't really see it. And then you can kind of see it through the walls here, depending on like how you're like moving around or whatever. But I decided to make that like a dual shower kind of feature. I thought that was kind of cool. And then the toilets on the opposite side, just interesting. No tub there. There is a tub in the primary bathroom, and then I do put a tub on the first floor as well. So if you do have like a baby or a toddler here, there is a tub on the second floor, but also the first floor too, which I don't think I show furnishing the first floor bathroom, mainly because I forgot. And then when I'm zooming around at the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do the bathroom on the first floor. Let me do that real quick. So I did that real quick using the same kind of styled items, which you'll see, but it's basically all sleek bathroom kit. We're doing a seating area in the primary bedroom. I went for black in here, just kind of more dark. I was trying to decide on side tables. I did like these. But then we do change those out for, I think, dream home decorator tables in black instead. Even though I kind of really like this wood tone going with the black. We do make a like pass-through walk-in wardrobe kind of here, his and hers. Or if you want, it could be his and his. I just furnished it as his and hers, but you could always change out the clothing items if you so choose. Depends who lives here, but yeah, just tucked in some clothing and then some shoes and stuff, but kind of kept it very neat, clean, and minimal in here. And there's some storage on the other side as well, which I believe is functional as a dresser, but I didn't put any kind of clutter or anything over there because I didn't feel like it needed it with the window, but you could do like a potted plant or something, I guess, or something else. It's totally up to you. I did put a bench here on the one wall, and then now we are starting on the primary bath, which I use sleek bathroom kit here and a mix of dream home decorator for like the mirrors and the sinks. I was trying to create the shower stall, but I still do anyway. It kind of chops up the bathroom a little bit. So we do a singular shower here, and then I float the vanities off of the little half wall from the sleek bathroom kit. So it kind of looks like they're just attached to that wall, which is actually nice to have because then it creates a wall shelf kind of thing for some clutter. There's the tub in front of the window, so you get great views while you're having a nice bubble bath. And then we do glass walls for the shower bit, and I put a little shelf in there, which just kind of make it look like a bench. It doesn't function as a bench, but it is a bench, or at least looks like one. And then I just kind of fit the clutter to the little wall there, which is actually really nice. I like having that there. It's kind of an interesting look. We do change the color tone of the primary bedroom and the bathroom as well, because I felt like this like creamy sandy color was just not working for the finishes that I chose in the end. So I kind of whitened it up a little bit, which I think goes way better together, kind of blends a little bit better, being the black and kind of white essentially. And now I'm just doing wallpaper in the other rooms. So we're going to focus on the nursery now, which I used, I believe, base game items, but also a little bit of the, what's that one? Not get together, growing together. There we go. I used some growing together in here as well for like the sheep stool and then the changing table, and I think the little toddler potty. I think the toddler potty's base game. And then that like Blarfy toy kind of thing that I put there, even though it's not Blarfy the bear. It's just one of those iterations. That was actually a login event reward. So I thought, oh, I've never seen this before. We're going to use it. So I did. I kind of liked how it looked. Just kind of like a monster-y looking thing, but not scary monster looking thing. And then I used Toolmod to lower this reading shelf down because I feel like it's like ridiculously high. Even though it's just a decorative item, it's like, it's too high on the wall. Even for normal Sims, like why does it have to be that high? And then we are now focusing on one of the other bedrooms, which I styled this as like a teen girl's bedroom or even a younger girl's bedroom. So we do things like makeup, and I kind of do some pink accents, and I have an open rack, clothing rack, just to kind of make it like they could try on outfits and things like that. I do the cheerleading thing, which I think is from high school years, as well as the chair, and a lot of the like the decorations on the walls are actually from high school years, as well as the clothing rack is too. So yeah, just kind of putting some clutter in. I do a speaker in there, which I think is like probably a huge mistake, only because Sims will come in and turn that on, and then your Sims will wake up if they're sleeping, because, you know, music and Sims in the same room do not go well together if they're sleeping. And then this one I kind of styled as like a boy's bedroom. It's a bit more dark and masculine in here, and I kind of made it feel like they were more, I don't know, they're like focused on education and stuff, as opposed to like beauty and makeup. So it's pretty simple in here, but overall it's quite nice. We have the double screen computer, which I believe is from Comfy Gamer kit, and just kind of styling up. I did put alarm clock in here as well, and then a couple of other little items from the Comfy Gamer kit, like this alien plan and this camera, and then a couple of little posters from Comfy Gamer, like some older Sims games, which I did do my Sims in the girls' bedroom as well, but really like how that turned out. Now we're doing the upstairs office, which this is just the dedicated office space. But again, if you need the extra bedroom, you could easily convert this into one. It's I would say it's pretty simple to do. You just kind of flip the desk around and flop a bed in there, and that's pretty much it. But went for a black theme in here as well, using a lot of the Comfy Gamer kit in there, and then some of the other Comfy Gamer kit items as clutter in the girls' bedroom. Do a candle and some paintings, and then I tuck a chair in the corner, and then I add a lamp and a table in the other corner, which we don't do just yet, but I come back and do that later because I felt like the room was a bit dark and it needed something. We're now doing the hallway bath upstairs. So this one's like a his and hers, kind of like, I kind of imagined it for like the teenagers to use. So one's, one side is for the girl and the other side is for the boy. So you have dual showers and towels, and then glass dividers, and the sinks kind of have different color clutter. Like you have one that's pink and then one that's white. Same thing with the bath clutter as well. So I kind of changed the color swatches there to kind of differentiate the sides, but it doesn't really matter. I just kind of wanted to do that, but it doesn't matter as far as functional. It's not going to make a difference. We're now painting the hallway, which I borrowed a lot of the elements from the first floor to do. But all in all, this hallway space I kept pretty clean and minimal. We do a couple of shelving units from the Modern Retreat kit, do a chair in the corner, and then I add a record player on the Modern Retreat console table. I did think about the lights, but then I was like, no, we're just going to get rid of those. I've already used them, I think, twice on the first floor. So I don't want to reuse too much stuff a lot, but I think a lot of this stuff is nice to reuse in some areas, especially some of the plants and stuff like that. I was going to put the record player on a glass shelf there, but we do change it out later. This is when I add the table to the office space with the lamp in the corner, and I kind of put it on an angle, which is different, but it's okay. I kind of like it that way. And then this is the little console table with the record tape player, and then I put a potted plant there, and that's pretty much it. I didn't put any kind of paintings or anything in the hallway. Just wanted to keep it minimal and clean. This is where I was thinking about the gym space and the garage, and then I'm like, okay, then I could do like an outdoor space where like the bike is on the thing, but then it wouldn't let me lower the other room down, and I'm just like, forget it. So we don't do that. We'll figure that out on a non-waterfront lot, I think. But now I'm extending a walking way kind of path around from the front door just for accessibility. That way, like, Sims don't have to walk through the house to get out here if they're like somewhere else in the yard or wherever. If they wanted to go kayaking or something, it's just good for Sims routing and moving around. And now we're doing the staircase to get up to the front door, and we're just putting in some stairs. I did use this railing from Adventure Awaits, which I quite liked the look of, especially with the house. It's very modern-ish, but not overly modern compared to like the one from like Business and Hobbies, for example. I was trying to decide on a chimney, but I went through so many different chimneys, and I'm like, I don't like any of these. I did use the Business and Hobbies at first, and then I just went back to Adventure Awaits, but then sized down the black chimney because I felt like it was just too large. But that also means that it doesn't actually put out smoke because it's resized. But we do a heat lamp out back, and then we do a dining table as well as a grill and stuff, which is using the garden to table items for this particular area. These kayaks are Adventure Awaits, but we're gonna put the like open like fireplace looking grill from garden to table, but I'm putting some of the potted plants and stuff inside in the kitchen because I thought that was great for the shelves in the kitchen, kind of like herbs and stuff up there, which is perfect, and they go so well with the overall style of the kitchen. But yeah, I don't think I show doing the grill portion on the back portion of the house. But here is the finished Montclair house. So again, you can grab it on The Sims for a gallery. My ID is just Simified, so go grab it, go play in it, have fun. I really like how this house turned out. I love the style of it. It's very clean, very minimal, but also very family oriented. And it's a really large house. I love that it's waterfront too. We really could use some more waterfront lots. Though I do wish they would let you do some terrain manipulation, at least slightly on waterfront lots. That would be nice. But here's the living room space, and then we move around to the little fireplace, which I think is great because then these windows here kind of look like a picture, and Sims will be either kayaking by or swimming by or something silly. But it's still nice. This is the kitchen. And then we zoom around to the dining room and you can see the wall of windows, which I think is absolutely beautiful, especially with the ceiling and how the ceiling kind of continues up that way. It's just very nice, very different. I also don't have the lights over the table. They're just over the open portion of the ceiling there. But yeah, this is the nursery upstairs. And then we move around to the other bedrooms, kind of up close. So this is the teen girls' bedroom. And then we go into the teen boys' bedroom, and then the hallway bath, the office, and then the primary bedroom, I think. And then we zoom around out back a little bit. But yeah, let me know what you think of the two new kits. I quite like both of them. They go well together. I think they kind of blend well together, which is really nice. You can use them in so many different ways, and in so many different build types too. Like you can even use the garden to table for like a cozy little cottage, for example, not just a modern build, but it works so well across both. And I think they're really great kits so far. Although I do wish sometimes they would have a little bit more items. Like there was something I was trying to think of that I was missing from Modern Retreat that I wish would have been in there. It was just one item, and I was like, oh, we could really use that, but I don't remember what it was. But it's okay. Doesn't matter. But this is the end of the builds, so that's all I had for this video. I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon with another build.